Well, we're here for the first live review on this channel, just because I can't be asked sitting and waiting to, record stuff, render stuff. It's just, I haven't had the time today to, sitting through the whole process of recording and then also, rendering the video, then uploading it. Ends up about, 5 hours long. So I figured I'd just do it this way, and it's a lot easier. Cuts out the middleman. But we're just going to pretty much get into this anyway. Because, this is still supposed to be a video, so I'm not going to bore you long. I should have brought up the live chat, but I never done it. I'm going to have to use my phone. Hold on. Let me just bring that up. Right, we've got the live chat there. Don't think I'm ignoring you either. I'm just kind of... I don't want to lose my flow. But yeah, this episode was, again, nothing happened. I really can't believe that we've now had 3 hours. 3 hours, and we've still done nothing. Still haven't developed any characters. I don't know what's going on. There's so many shows nowadays that are like that. She-Hulk's the same. We keep going through every episode of that. And nothing is happening. I don't know what exactly the story is here. We kind of know where we're leading up to in this show, but it's still like, I don't really know what we're going for here. It just seems like we're wasting time. It's, it's similar to, like, I think I brought it up in the episode 2 review. It's like by 2 hours in the Fellowship of the Ring, you're about to enter into Moria. Whereas in this, it's been 3 hours of stuff, and it's like, I fail to see, like, the defense of, oh, well, it's a TV show, so it's different. It's like, well, it's still gonna, the first season is still gonna, a little less than the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but it's like, you're literally giving us hour episodes, but instead, you're just, again, wasting time. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. But it's just fucking, I don't know what's going on with it. But I think pretty much all that happened was Galadriel went to Numenor, so we had to introduce more characters. Don't know nothing about them yet. Then we had, Arondir got taken by the orcs in the last episode. So, we start off the episode with that, and we end on that. Nothing progresses forward. Arondir is still in the same place he was at the start of the episode, like episode 3. Then you have because we don't have Elrond's not in it, or the dwarves, so it's just Arondir, Galadriel, and the Harfoots. I think, just to let you know my thoughts on the Harfoots, someone needs to drop kick them. That's my thoughts on the Harfoots. They're not doing a very good job with the Harfoots in the sense that they want you to give a shit about them. The Harfoots so far really come across like dipshits. We've seen in episode 2 where, if you remember, Nori's dad broke his foot because all the Harfoots in the camp didn't want to... They just watched him, and then he broke his foot. It's like, I'm not really seeing a sense of community, and that gets fucking worse with this episode. You really start to see, oh, these Harfoots are just assholes. They don't care about anybody. They really don't. It's fucking hilarious. But that's pretty much the episode. Galadriel goes to Numenor. So, she goes to Numenor, and then we're still in Numenor at the end. Haven't really learned much. Haven't progressed anything. The Harfoots are going... They're about to go off on their migration. So we're still just... It's like, it's been 3 hours. 3 hours! It's like a lot of this stuff could be cut out, or at least cut, halfway. We don't need, like, over an hour episode, because they're not doing anything with them. They really aren't. Oh, it's just very boring. A really boring show. But let's just dive in there anyway. But yeah, I don't get it with a lot of these shows now. They just fucking waste your time. It's like, look where we are with House of the Dragon now. Like the amount of shit we've done in there so far. That's you know, HBO knew what they were doing when they released their show. Like sort of round about the same, 2 weeks before, wasn't it? I think they knew exactly what they were doing. But let's get into this anyway. So yeah, we start off with Arondir. He's been taken by the orcs. I will say the orcs are pretty good. They're like the voices and the look of them. So they're quite well done. The orcs. They act like orcs. We haven't yet seen the orcs culture or whatever that is. But yeah, they're dragging Arondir through here. And they, they're like putting in the work or something like that. You know, I don't know what they're going for by putting him in chains. I don't know if that could be some sort of allegory they're going for. I don't know, but they're talk because the name of the episode is, I did write it down, is Adar. Like they're talking about I'll do it for Adar. Because they're kind of complaining about not wanting to go out in the sun because of course they're orcs. But yeah, they're doing it with some guy. Yeah, some guy called Adar. So I don't know who this is. We do get a glimpse of him at the end of the episode. But yeah, I think we've heard a bit about him. We have seen the guy in the trailer. But then, yeah, so Arondir's mate, he's been taken as well. I'm guessing they took them when they came looking for him. But yeah, again, it's like, yeah, there's no characters to give a shit about. So it's like, oh, his friend's in chains. Wow, I don't care. I don't care that he's in chains. So yeah, and then you just see all the orcs and stuff like that. But yeah, the orcs are pretty good. I haven't really got any complaints about the orcs. Because they sound like their voices are well done. They look good. There is some certain CGI later on that we're going to get to, and I'm just like, really, this season cost 465 million. What the fuck did you do with it? I don't know what they've done with it. But then Galadriel, Galadriel was even worse this episode, by the way. Absolutely insufferable. Insufferable. That's what I find quite funny at the moment, is you see people saying how amazing Galadriel is. I don't understand why anyone would like her. Because you like, see if she was a real person, I don't think you'd want to be friends with her. So I'm just like, what exactly is it you're pulling out of this character? Well, I use the term character loosely because we still don't know much about Galadriel, other than she wants to just cut heads off of orc scum. That's pretty much her character. But it's something I don't really get why exactly that is why people seem to like her. It's fucking strange to me. It's the same goes for like when people like the show. I'm just like, I wonder what people are getting out of it, because I just seem to get nothing out of it. Because nothing's happening. There's no characters been developed, and we've now wasted 3 hours. We've got another 5 hours after this. If this is anything to go by, I'm pretty sure we're not really going to be doing anything, are we? So Galadriel wakes up. Halbrand brings a bowl of whatever and says it's not poison. And then they go up to the surface, look about. There's a load of men in shit armor. I don't know if that's, some of this looks like paper mache or foam. Or unless, I don't know if it's supposed to be armor. It may just be some sort of leather. I'm not too sure on that. But they're just looking about, and then, yeah, we've all seen this out the trailers, the moob armor. Why? That's the only question I have with that. Why? Why moobs? Surely you'd have it more like, pecs. That's what you would go with, because that just looks really, really weird, really strange. But yeah, I don't know if that's leather some of them have got on. I'm honestly not. It must be. Yeah, that can't be armor. But yeah, it's moob something. So yeah, the costumes in that, I'm not. Yeah, I don't think they look that good. I better keep checking on my old notes. You'll be glad to know I don't have that much for notes this episode. This is quite similar to episode 1, where I don't think I had that many notes. Episode 2 I had about 4 pages. Here I've got about 2 pages or something like that. Alright, so where are we? Because I kind of fucked myself up because I cut, like, my first watch through, I wrote stuff down, and then I gave it another quick skim through. So now all my notes are like all fucking like on different pages and all that. No, they don't really say anything here. It's just I don't know, strange tides indeed. I don't. Yeah, they don't really say much here. I'm honestly like, what do they even say here? I'm gonna have to try and skim through it a bit to see if I see, because I've got subtitles on. So yeah, it doesn't really say much. She just asks, "What port are we sailing to?" And yeah, she like looks at his armor and that. It's like, you know, some of that shot there really does look. It honestly looks like a game. Just I noticed that we had that shot in the trailer, and it just it looks like it. You know, it looks like, you know, recent generation console, but it's still like some of that just looks like game graphics. But you know, it's pretty clear anyway. So then they just sail in here, and then we get a big spiel about how we're going to Numenor. Again, they're not saying that much. They're really not. But yeah, it's like, yeah, most of the visuals in this are fine. But again, I'll quite happily take shit visuals if I can get a good story. I'm more interested in a good story and good characters. Visuals, yeah, I'm not that much of a stickler for. You know, if you've got visuals and no story, it's like, yeah, all you've got is visuals. So it's not really anything kind of enticing. But yeah, it's basically her explaining to Halbrand that it's, you know, she says they're the westernmost of all mortal realms. It says it's Numenor. You know, again, you know, it looks fine. Yeah, it kind of, to me, it kind of looks a bit Greek, doesn't it? That's kind of what I get from it. But, well, I suppose then again, you know, Tolkien did base this off Atlantis, which was, of course, fucking to do with the Greeks, wasn't it? But yeah, you know, it looks decent. If only we could get something to happen, then we'd be in the money, then, wouldn't we? So they just sail up. Everyone's kind of looking at her, saying, "Is that an elf?" Because apparently they hate elves. I don't know why. I don't believe we don't find out. They do mention something about it in a second. So yeah, they're just kind of walking. Yeah, so yeah, she says to Halbrand, "In the Great War, your ancestors stood with Morgoth." It's like, yeah, he already knows that though. Get a lot of that, like explaining things to cat. It's like, yeah, they probably know that. Yeah, she says like Numenor fought with the elves, and then yeah, they like shared gifts and knowledge, and then I believe the elves gave them Numenor, gave them the island, and now she doesn't know. She says like they used to be able to go back and forth like to the shores of Numenor whenever they wanted, and then they stopped letting our ships come, and then they cut off all ties. Why? You know, I don't know. I don't really know, but that's essentially that. And I would like to point out, we're now 10 minutes into the episode. We're now 10 minutes, all we've seen is Arondir get put in chains, and you know, Galadriel and Halbrand sail to Numenor. That's all we've seen. For 10, that's what they've done for 10 minutes. There's not really a lot of information to discuss. That's why, you know, I don't think we're going to be here that long anyway. So yeah, they're just going through here, and then they bring them both down here. That fucking gown needs to go. I don't know what's going on with that gown, but yeah, it looks like you should be getting ready for bed. So they come in here. Halbrand says, he tells Galadriel to kneel, and then the Queen Regent, Miriel, says, "We don't kneel in Numenor." And then, then she basically asks, we've seen parts of this in some of the trailers and that. She asks who they are. So Galadriel goes into a big Daenerys Targaryen Khaleesi speech where she says, "I'm Galadriel of the Noldor, daughter of the Golden House of Finarfin, commander of the northern armies of High King Gil-galad." It's like, yeah, calm down. Calm down. They must have took that from Game of Thrones, I'm guessing, because it goes on for a bit too long, if you ask me. So, do you need any more titles, Galadriel? But that's a Khaleesi moment over with. And then who is it that's? Yeah, I think. Yeah, then Halbrand says, "I'm Halbrand." So that was meant to be funny or something like that. What else? Yeah, so then it's I can't remember now, but I think it's Halbrand that says, "We are companions." No, it's Galadriel that says that. "We are companions by chance, met on the open sea." So what they mean to say is, "Oh, we met by contrivance." It's like they really shouldn't have went that way with it, because now everything is built on a contrivance. Because, like, Galadriel jumped in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, and we all know how big the ocean is. You know, first of all, she thought she was going to swim all the way to Middle-earth, because she's that full of herself. She thought she was going to go all the way to Middle-earth. And then, in the middle of the ocean, she ran into another fucking shipwreck. Another shipwreck. It's like, and some of us know what's kind of coming at the end of this season. We all know about Halbrand. Some of us know who he is. Some of us don't. I think I did mention it in my episode 2 review, but I kind of just, not bother saying it. Just, I imagine there's some people that don't want it spoiled. So, where were we? We're now 11 minutes in. Fucking, it drags. It really does drag. It's like you could have cut this down to 45 minutes and it would have been, to be honest, you could cut this down to half an hour or 20 minutes. You wouldn't really be missing much. So we've had a title. Then she starts being an arsehole. So yeah, we've went over the we are companions by chance. Big fucking chance. Big lucky chance. So, I'm just trying to make sure I've got bringing up everything I need to. So yeah, basically, because like the Queen Regent is all like pissed off that she's here, or like ask instead of Galadriel, trying to charm her a bit, she starts saying, "We the elves gave you this island." Like, she says it to her like that, like all bitchy and all that. So basically, we've got a scene with a bit of a cat fight going on. So yeah, we've went through all that. But yeah, she wants like a passage back to Middle Earth. So this guy is Pharazôn. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I will say what they're wearing actually looks pretty good. Actually, I think those costumes are pretty decent. I think there's some of the people, there's some like costumes that don't look that good, but yeah, I think theirs look all right, I guess. So yeah, they want to like imprison Galadriel or something like that. They want to keep her here for, well, Halbrand interjects and says, "Oh, why, good queen, why don't we just stay? Why don't we stay here for a few days?" And Galadriel's like, "You will not make me prisoner." Honestly, it's just pure resting bitch face. We've seen how that went with that certain woman that was in Aquaman 2. In Aquaman. It doesn't go well for you. It doesn't. It's like, what are you expecting to gain out of this? But it's just like, surely she must understand that clearly they don't want her here. They don't like elves. So why would you piss them off further by saying, oh, you only have this island because we gave it to you? It's like fucking just childish. It really is. Honestly, what I would give to see Kate Blanchett's Galadriel, that had a presence, was very powerful, whereas she's just a bit of a bore. We do get a smile out of her later on, and it's some of the cringiest shit I've ever seen. I see. We'll talk about it when we get to it. We're not very far away. Yes, and then she decides to say, as you can see on the subtitles there, then if blood be the price of passage, I will pay it. She's now like threatening them. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, what? She thinks she's going to win again. She thinks she's going to beat all these guys. Oh. So, yeah, that's when, we spoke about it, how Bran convinces them to let him stay. For Azon, I don't even know, fuck it. Don't matter. I don't know anything about him anyway, so. But, yeah, he kind of takes a piss out of her a bit. At least someone's willing to take her down a peg or two. Needs to happen. So then Halbrand Then Halbrand hugs the captain that found them in the middle of the ocean after Galadriel just bumped into someone in the middle of the ocean after she jumped out of a boat because she thought she could swim hundreds and hundreds of miles. So he hugs him because he's, of course, taken something from him. And I just wonder, like, why did no one see him? And, again, it's... Because, well, but he steals, so that character, that person we've seen is, why am I forgetting his name? Elendil. That's Elendil, the captain that found them. So, Halbrand hugs him and then steals one of his, like, daggers, I guess. I think it's a dagger, but you can't even see the dagger. Because, later on, he pulls it out from here. But it's like, where is it then? Where the fuck's it gone? But I'm just like, surely someone must have seen him. Why would you not? It's like there's loads and loads of people around. There's no way you're going to do that without detection. But whatever. It doesn't come in handy anyway, so it makes no difference, to be honest. But because he gives Galadriel the dagger, but yeah, she doesn't do anything with it. It never comes up again. And then she starts being an arsehole again, where I did write this part down. She says... hold on. Yeah, I think Halbrand is basically trying to calm her down. And then, yeah, she says to him, you leapt into the sea to save one life. I seek to save many. So that's what you say to the guy that saved your life. You treat him like that. It's like they're not doing a good job at making this character likable. She's fucking annoying. I don't get it. I don't know what they're going for. It's like they're just making her come across like an arsehole. It's like, you're really gonna, castrate the person that saved your life by saying, well, you only saved my life. I intend to save many more than that. So no, he saved your life. So that's when he gives her that dagger. That's pretty much that. You've got the Queen Regent saying to Pharazôn that, oh, it's but one elf. It's only one elf. And that was a bit of dialogue. You can see it there. An avalanche can start with one stone. So where the fuck are they coming up with these lines? An avalanche can start with one stone. You could come up with something better than start with one stone. Yeah, that's just kind of a weird. That's kind of a weird line to me. I just like one stone. Who knows? It's not that big of a deal, but I'm just like, that's some of the dialogue is a bit weird. So that is pretty much that. But they're just gonna keep an eye on Galadriel, I guess. But she's basically a prisoner on the island. And yeah, that is that. And then they start talking about Elendil, like, because she asks, "Oh, who is that guy? Who is the captain that found them out in the ocean?" So they give us his life story about his son, which is Isildur. His son is like training to do his line of work as well. And then that's when we cut to Elendil, not Elendil, Isildur. So that's Isildur there. He's just, I don't know. He's just looking out on. I don't know if that's Middle. I don't know where that is. Is that Middle Earth? Because yeah, he's just kind of like looking over it while people are running about trying to do stuff with his ship, and then one guy fucks up. Isildur saves him, and that's something else that pretty much could have been cut. I don't know. I suppose that all that tells us about Isildur is, I don't know, he's helpful, I guess. So they bring that in, and then they all look out at the sea and say, "The sea is always right." And then everybody yells, "The sea is always right." Okay. I don't really... Whatever. But leave it. We'll just leave it. So that's pretty much that. Then his sister turns up. This is the sister. Remember the actress said, "I'm bringing female energy to the family." So they're basically, these guys are like talking about how in 9 years is it in 9 years? No, in 9 days they got some trial to become sailors. They're like these, like they're all cadets. So we get all that. Then his sister shows up with a horse and all that. Those toxic men start hitting on her. That's pretty much that. Then now Miriel is a bit upset with Elendil because he brought this elf back. They don't want elves there for whatever reason. I'm still not sure why exactly that's still the case. But yes, where are we? I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing stuff out of my notes. Yeah, they start asking him, "Oh, what is it your name means?" He says, "One who looks to the stars," or something like that. And then they say, "Oh, it also means elf friend." So she's like, "Are you an elf friend?" And tries to compare it to, he's committed treason because he saved someone's life. I would just advise him, yeah, you probably should have left them there. You probably should have left them there. Because, again, no reason to give a shit about any of these characters. Although, I will say, at least in this episode, I quite like the acting from the guy who plays Elendil. But we don't really get much about him. But he's probably the only character in this episode that has something of substance in a later scene. But other than, again, there's not really much. There's not really much to play with there. So, yeah, he's, again, he brings up the contrivance part again, where he says, "It was the sea that put her in my path, and the sea is always right." Yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't because the writers couldn't come up with a way for Galadriel and Halbrand to meet. It wasn't due to that. No, it was just because the sea is always right. That's what it is. So, yeah, and then that's when she replies, "The sea cannot commit treason." And then she gives him some task to basically like watch over Galadriel as she's in Númenor. But yeah, he explains to him, like, as it says, "I did only what I believed to be most prudent." It's like I don't know. I don't really know why you would go. Oh, that is treasonous. You saved someone and brought this. That's treason. It's like you could just easily send them. I don't know. But he gets a sword. What? I don't. Why does he need a special sword for? Just watching over Galadriel, watching what she does. I don't. I fuck knows. Then we're back to Arondir. Again, all the I quite like the design of the orcs. They are at least acting like orcs and stuff like that. This is probably the only stuff that at least I haven't seen too many issues. But yeah, they're talking about, they're like surprised that like the orcs are like praising this guy called Ardar. Is it Adar? Adar, that's the guy's name. But yeah, they're trying to come up with a plan to escape. They basically say, when the sun's at its highest, we're trying get a look over there, and then we're trying escape to the tree line or something like that. I fucking hate the elves in this. The elves still don't come across like elves. There's no difference. There's no difference between them than the race of men. So, and then this orc steps up to offer them water. I may be missing things here. I'm not too sure. But yeah, they want them to. There's like a tree that they want them to tear down, and they're saying, "Oh no, that's we don't want to do that. We don't want to do. We'd rather no, yeah, because they're building tunnels. So they say you'd be better off going around, because we're not. What are we? What's the point in wasting all this time taking down a tree when you could just easily go around? I don't know why the orcs don't agree to this, to be honest. It's like you want to get the tunnels built, don't you? So yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't just want to go around. Because it's like a big fucking tree, and they're like, we want it ripped out from the root. So then again, orcs are fucking stupid, aren't they? But yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't even figure that out. They don't come across that dumb in this. Some of them do, but not all of them. So they must be thinking. I don't. It's like a big massive tree with big roots and everything. It's like you want to go through it. You're fucking dumb. Don't know what that's about. But they've got whips out and stuff. One of them says, "Oh, rip that out now, or I'll make a map out of your back." Yeah, then this orc that I'm guessing seems to be the leader, at least at the moment. He starts offering them water, and then he slits. So that, yeah, like the Arondir's boss takes a drink, then Arondir takes a drink. One of those scenes where I'm like, yeah, you could cut that in half. We don't need to spend half an hour with you passing jugs to each other to take drinks. So yeah, as you can see, that orc just slits his friend's throat. There's not that. I'm not that bothered about it, because again, I don't know nothing about him. I don't know nothing about Arondir's friend. I haven't seen much of a relationship. They didn't really seem like they were friends when we seen them in episode 1. They didn't really come across that way. Seemed like, oh, I just work with him. So he's not happy about that, and then Arondir goes, right, I'll chop the tree down then. So he does get a good look, like over at the tree line and all that sort of stuff. I'm just kind of mentioning that because it comes up later, and I'm like, you never seen what was up there. Well, you're seeing what's up there now, but you never noticed. It comes up a bit later, so we kind of get to it. So he just starts cutting that down, and then we're back to Numenor. We skipped a bunch of shit as well, by the way. We have that Arondir bit, and then we cut back to this, and Galadriel has escaped. We didn't see her escape. It just starts and, oh, she's escaped. Because I don't think she's been put in a cell or anything. She's just had these two guys here following her about. Yeah, there's like one bit where she comes out the window out there. Yeah, she jumps over there, look. You can see her there. It's like, really? No one's seeing that. You can't see that. It's not that high up. You can't see the, the blue dress swaying in the wind. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't show us any of this. It's just, oh no, we cut to this and she's escaped. We could have done something with that. Yeah, you would think they would show that. I was like, is it something to do with the file I've got? Am I missing a scene? I was just kind of confused because I'm like, I don't know why it's sort of like that. Why we just turn up, oh, we're here, or we've done that part. Whatever. She's in a blue dress, and then Elendil is like hiding around a corner. How he knew she would be there, don't know. Then she starts being a dickhead to him, saying, who is this mortal speaking to me, or something like that. And then it's... Yeah, then Galadriel complains about, I'm hated by everybody here. It's like, yeah, you're not doing yourself any favours, though, are you? You're not doing yourself... It's like, yeah, no wonder I don't think it's got anything to do with you being an elf. I think it's more, they just don't like the look at you. Just growling all the time. So he takes her off. Yeah, he says something about because they have, on the island, they have a hall of law to do with, like, elven stuff. I believe the king before the queen regent, like, he kept this, like, building there. So, like, people, like, he got taken off the throne because, they consider, I don't know, being loyal to elves is treason. So they took him off the throne, and now he sits up in a tower somewhere in Numenor, which I think that's the guy that Miriel was talking to at the end. I'm guessing it's a dad. So she goes, oh, how far is it? And then he mentions horses. He mentions, oh, it's a quarter of a day's ride. And then she says, ride? So she's right in the horse riding. We're going to have to go through this frame by frame because it's fucking hilarious. I seen it on Twitter before I actually watched the episode. I was like, oh no, what are you doing? It's shot, it's shot pretty weirdly. And it's just her face. It's fucking hell, man. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's like we got another Brie Larson on our hands. I think that's what it is. We got another Captain Marvel. But it's like, what the fuck? I just kind of seen that. I'm like, is that the stunt person? Is that the stunt woman? Because it doesn't even look like her there. I think that's honestly because we haven't seen her fucking smile once. But yeah, it seems to be a horse ride is a thing. But yeah, I just kind of want to go through this frame by frame because I was like, oh, it's fucking it's cringe. What a face. Yeah, maybe you're better off not fucking smiling because she looks like a psycho. We're now half an hour. I want to remind you, we're now half an hour into the episode. Half an hour into the episode, and all we've done is... I have to keep trying to remember. Again, nothing's happened, so I'm forgetting. So, yeah, all you've had is Galadriel. They got picked up by a boat. She's already seen the Queen Regent. Now she's off to this hall over here. It's like, Arondir's just been stuck in a pit the whole episode. We're still yet to get to the Harfoots, which I think we're probably going to spend the most time on. Because they get up to some stuff. They need a roundhouse kick. That's what some of these Harfoots need. But now we're back to Halbrand. We're seeing what he's up to on Numenor. Because, yeah, because he's a man, because he's, from the race of men. He's not an elf. They're kind of just letting him go about his business. But, yeah, he's in this blacksmith's asking, oh, I'll build anchors, I'll do this, that, and the other for you. And the guy says, so as you can see on that little thing there, that means you're allowed, you've been trained to work on all these, all this steel and stuff like that. Like, it's like working on swords and shit like that. So he goes off to eat. Then these guys come up, kind of, say to him, you've come here, you're eating our food, you're doing this, that, and the other. He does make a joke about, and taking your women as well. But then he kind of cools the air and says, I'll buy a round. Where did you get money from? That's what I don't understand. I'm like, where did you get money from? To be able to, because it's not just like these guys he buys it for the entire bar. Like, where do you get all that? It's like you literally just came out the ocean. Where did you get this money from? Don't know. I don't know where we got this from. But, so this guy over here, Halbrand's just stole his little badge thing that says he can do blacksmithing. So, yeah, but surely if you go back to that guy, you'll go, oh, well, you've clearly just stole that because you didn't have the... do they just go, oh, no, if you've got it, you're fine? So, someone could take that off their dad and they'd just go, oh, you've got the badge, that's fine, though. Even though I know you've just been in my shop. You clearly aren't trained for this work. You can just show back up with this, this thing, and then you get to do blacksmithing. I don't even know why he wants to do that, to be honest. I don't know if, I think he wants to start a new life here. Something along those lines. So I don't really know exactly what his motivation is for doing this. But the guys realise, oh, he's just stole my badge, and then we get a bit of a fight, which, was fine. There wasn't loads of cuts, and it wasn't shaky cam and all that. They actually rehearsed this part, it looks like. So, yeah, he absolutely knocks the shit out of these guys. So, now we're at this Hall of Law. It's fucking hell, it's dragging on. It's really dragging on. I don't even know how I've been able to talk about it this long. Right, so, yeah, I don't believe I've missed anything. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. No, that's all. I think we're all caught up on my notes. Yeah, so this is essentially, she draws out the... Oh, I'm getting phone calls and all that now. So, now I've lost my train of thought. So, she's written down the sigil, like the Sauron sigil. So he goes and, Elendil goes and asks the guy in there about, like, is there any, you got any books or stuff with this, like, sigil or anything like this on? The guy pretty much finds it instantly. But, yeah, apparently this place here was built by Elrond's brother. And it was the previous king that stopped it from being torn down. So, and that's like the reason why he's now been confined to, like, the top of his tower or something like that. In exile, as Elendil puts it. So, the little... should we just call them Meisters? Might as well. Not I don't know. So then they look at this, and so that little padding they've got there is black speech, which is apparently it's a plan that says once more, like with Morgoth being gone, or when Morgoth is defeated, if Morgoth, something along those lines, if Morgoth gets defeated, then there shall be a successor. So then she realizes, oh, Sauron's coming back. I thought she already believed that anyway. I thought she already believed that Sauron was already back. And then she realizes that this is Mordor. This isn't a sigil. It's in fact like it's a map basically. So she realizes that. Then we get this little sigil fire up on screen because I couldn't figure that out myself. I couldn't figure out. Oh yeah, it's a map. Couldn't figure that out. I needed you to flash Sauron on the screen. So they figured that out. Yeah, Galadriel's like, matters are worse than I imagined. And then we can finally rip into the Harfoots, because I'm going to rip into them, because I think they're pricks. I really do. They again, as I pointed out at the start of this, they're not doing a good job about caring about the Harfords. They're not doing a good job in that aspect. It seems like everything they do, they're making the Harfords come across like they don't care about anybody but themselves. Like, I mean, within their actual group, they don't seem to care about. We'll kind of get to a lot of the stuff, but it definitely raises an eyebrow or two. And I find it funny because they try and make it like an emotional scene. It's like, well, no, you've just fucked it up by what they've just said. I just despise the Harfords. I'm definitely on that side of it. I'm just like, yeah, they're just, smelly, dirty twats that can't, for some reason, as we've seen in episode 1, they can't even eat berries right. They even fuck up eating berries, just start doing all that. So they're just a bit disgusting, if you ask me. But yeah, they need to get rid of this stuff on their heads because it looks fucking daft. To be honest, the stuff we're seeing on the screen at the moment isn't as bad as, we've got, this in our hair. It's like, just take it out, will you? What? See, when they brought in the Harfords, why didn't they just make them... Why wouldn't you just make them have a bit of class? I don't know why they don't seem to have any class. It's like, can you not just wear normal stuff, have your hair normal, while you've got, leaves and nuts and all that in your hair? I don't know. I don't know who thought, let's tangle it all in our hair because we're dirty, smelly bastards. But yeah, from that aspect, it's like, why? Why make them that way? But they're like walking down this path saying, like they're singing like a song. Sadok Brown's like leading them down, saying, I don't know, nobody leaves the trail. People stay with the group, something like that. I don't believe I wrote that down. No, but yeah, they're walking down singing about, some bollock. Yeah, nobody goes off the trail. Let me see if I can find it should come up. Yeah, nobody goes off the trail and nobody walks alone, which I find quite funny because they contradict that in about 5 minutes. But you've got... I don't even know his name. I know it's Nori's dad, but I'm like, I don't remember your name. But honestly, just this shit, get it out. Why? Why is that the look that they went for? It's like, it just looks stupid. It really does. Yeah, they haven't got a good look, have they? Why they didn't just... Why would you not just have them, they live in camps and that, but they're still, they clean up nice and all that. They've got nice clothes. At least to the extent that you could believe that in like the way they live, they could sew nice stuff. I'm not expecting them to be in, the latest Ralph Lauren or whatever it is. But just tidy him up a bit. That's all I'm saying. So his wife, or I don't even know if this is Nori's mum anymore, because he brings up some other, like his old wife, his ex-wife. Like I'm assuming she passed away. So I don't know if this is actually Nori's mum or not. I'm not sure. But basically, so this is when we start getting a few lines I start to question. It's like, well, what are we meant to like about these Harfords when they don't seem to give a shit about, they're not a community, as they would say. So, yeah, but basically, so Marigold, I believe that's her name. I think it is that. Where she says, because this guy's foot, as we remember, we'll just go over what happened in the previous episode. He was putting up this thing, the rope broke, and he was struggling to hold it, and rather than any of the other Harfords help him, they just sat and watched him. They just watched him like it was nothing. Like it was, haha, he's going to break his foot. It's like no one got up to help him. And you want me to give a shit about these Harfords? It's like, what, yeah, I don't know what they're going for. So she says, we can't carry the cart without you. We're going to be left behind. So, because I pointed this out in episode 2 when they were like saying, oh, is he okay to migrate? And I was just like, well, you can just throw him on a cart, can't you? Just throw them on the back of a cart. But no, it turns out that they have to carry their own cart, but they'll be left behind. No one will help them, and it gets worse. It gets worse as we go forward a bit. But yeah, then he says, Brandy, what are they? Brandyfoot. Brandyfoots never get left behind or something like that. And then he goes into something about, you know, when his ex, whoever, like he says a name, and like when she passed, I seen you in the clearing, and I knew I'd grow old with you. It's like, right, what's that got to do with? Don't know what that's really got to do with anything. So, and now you know, we finished the previous episode, and they were looking for the stars. They're trying to find out where these stars are for Gandalf. Let's just call him Gandalf. That's clearly who he's going to be. They're not going to use the name, but it's just supposed to be Gandalf, isn't it? So, because, yeah, as we know, Sadok he looks at the stars and stuff like that. So he's got all this written down in his book. So she starts arguing with her friend, because her friend's like, just fuck that wizard. You shouldn't be helping him. It's nonsense, you know, that sort of stuff. She's trying to stop her from getting into trouble. So she's going into Sadok's tent to steal these pages to figure out where these stars are. She like opens it right up, and it's there. She opens it up, and I'll see if I can pull up the thing. All right, come on. All right, I'll see if we can see it. So yeah, she opens it straight up, right in the middle. It's like, sure, this whole book is full of stars, isn't it? She turns one page. Yeah, it turns like a few pages. Oh, it's there. Found it. We're done with that now. You know, whatever. Then Sadok comes back, and her friend's out there shouting, like, to warn her that he's coming. So she hides under the table, and she's trying, as Sadok's sitting there, because he's about to do a speech. The speech we're gonna be having some words about. And she's trying to like find where this sheet is. And her friend's like a bit right or a bit left. Like, she's saying it in a way so Sadok doesn't click on that Nori's under there. And she finds it. Yeah, she gets the little sheets there. So they've spent, basically, when we come to the end of this episode, they spent the entire time just, we just got pages for some stars. Oh, fucking hell. 3 hours. 3 hours, man. What a waste. So then this is when we get the speech that I did take note of this. So Sadok says, we remember those from prior migrations who fell behind, and should any fall behind this migration, they'll be carried with us in our hearts and memories. So if some of them can't keep up, they just leave them. They just leave them. They talk about people that have died because they didn't go and help them. They bring up one of them. They say, yeah, one half foot got stuck in the snow. Got stuck in the snow of the mountain pass. Nobody helped him. They just thought, no, if you can't keep up, fuck you. So I'm just like, what are you trying to make me think about these half-foots? When it turns out that when they migrate, they just leave people behind. And then they start going on about, you know, people that have died and stuff like that. So they try and make it emotional. And I'm just like, well, no, you fucked it now, ain't you? Because you just spoke about that you left some guy behind on a mountain pass. Why would you not want to help your friends? Well, they're clear. None of these people are clearly friends. That's obvious. But yeah, it just makes me want to drop kick them. That's what it. Because I'm just like, why? But they actually show us some things at the very end of the episode. I'm like, yeah, you made it worse by showing us that you don't care. You're only willing to help yourself. So that's pretty much all that's pretty much all that gets said then. And then the wizard comes in and he finds these papers in the bag. What, I don't know why he knew it was in there. And then he starts hovering over a fire. So of course it's all going to go wrong because he's a bit he's a bit special at the moment. Doesn't quite understand a lot of stuff. So he's hanging this sheet of paper over the flames. It's going to go wrong, isn't it? So, yeah, Nori looks over and like, oh, fuck. It's like, you didn't consider that he would just stroll into the camp. It's like he clearly... Well, she seems to think that he understands her. Last episode, she started using half-foot sign language. It's like, well, he clearly doesn't know that, does he? Unless you use some sort of universal, hand signals. I don't think he's going to understand, is he? So they all see him, of course. He, stumbles, banging his head and all that sort of stuff. So they've seen him now. And that, yeah, he's, strutting about, looking for, saying Nori. So now they know, oh, she's been doing something with this guy. And now they're all having a go at her. In fact, one thing I forgot to mention is once again in this episode, other characters explained Nori's character to me. They explain. Yeah, did I write it on this page? Where is it? Yeah, it was earlier on when her dad and her mum was sitting in the little caravan, and he said once that girl puts her head to something, nothing can stop her. So that's still going on. There's still it seems to be specifically with Nori. They just rather than show us something, it's just no. We're just going to tell you. We're just going to tell you what a character is. Oh. So yeah, they're written into her. That woman on the right there says, "By our customs, you should be decaravaned." So I'm guessing that means you're not allowed to migrate with us. Yeah, she starts having a go at him, saying, "Good little Harfoot, stick to the path, flee every danger. No one wants to go and explore." But yeah. So her on the right there, and I'm just thinking, you're a bloody, twat. Like going, you should be decaravaned. It's like, why? Because you fucking helped someone. Because it's been strange to start with why Nori was afraid to let the other Harfoots know. It's like would they have killed him? I don't really, but I don't know why she was scared. I can kind of see why now, because they probably would want to fucking off him, wouldn't they? They already let people in their own group. They already leave him behind to die. They just go, we could help that guy on the mountain paths. We could help him. We can still see him as we're migrating. But nah, just keep going. Just keep it moving. And it's the same way. It makes it even worse if there was someone behind the guy as well. If one in their group got caught in the mountain pass, and another caravan just walked around him. Didn't fucking help him. That makes it a lot worse, but yeah, I imagine it happened. Because, yeah, I don't think we're just going to go out on a limb and say, oh, well, the person left up in the mountain must have been at the end. So, yeah, some of them could have walked around him. Just walked around him. Nah, fuck him. No, we're migrating. I know we're supposed to be friends and all, but no, we're going to let you die on a mountain. So that was the main stuff that just pissed me off with the Harfoots. So then she starts crying to her mum, but mum, he's special. He's special. That's pretty much all that happens there. So, this is when we get to, because Elendil says that he says to his kids, he's been charged with watching over Galadriel. It's like, where the fuck is she then? You're supposed to be looking over her. Where is she? That's what I mean. They say stuff like this or put it out there that they're watching what she does. yeah, it seems to be that she's just walking around doing whatever. I don't know. But yeah, this is so he's he's talking to his son about because Isildur is going to become a sailor, but it turns out Isildur actually doesn't want to become a sailor. So his dad's kind of like, why wouldn't you want to do that? So yeah, he's kind of because he kind of wants his son to follow in his footsteps. So we actually have a little something of substance. It quickly ends. Can't spend too long on that, can we? So yeah, he's kind of like, why would you not want to become a sailor or whatever like that? I think I think Isildur wants to take like a gap year, something like that. So they get into a bit of an argument about it. I forget their the sister's name, Aenor, something like that. He yells at her because she started, like he says, "Was I talking to you?" So he yells at her, and then yeah, you can. That's her name there. You can see on there, Arian. I don't know what it's like. They're trying to make sure you know her name. This woman over here comes up and says, "Message for your daughter, Eric. Why not just say it to her? Why are you saying it to her dad?" But yeah, it turns out she's been accepted. Because she wants to be an architect. So she's been accepted. Some university, some college, something along those lines. We ain't got long to go now, people. We ain't got long to go. I didn't think I thought that we'd be about 45 minutes, but no. So, what happens in this scene? I think this stuff I didn't even bother writing down. Did I? I must have wrote this down, surely. Nah, I must have missed it. Nah. But one thing I am now certain. I should have came a lot more prepared. But well, she figures out that that Halbrand is a king. He's like one of the kings of the Southlands. Some of us already know that's not true. That's not true. But apparently he's like, she says, "Oh, you're a king of the Southlands. It goes like he says, I'm not the hero. I'm not a hero," or something like that. So that they have that conversation. Yeah, she shows him shows him this crest, and that's the thing that he's had wrapped around his neck. The little, I don't know what you call it, the little lanyard thing. The lanyard. So yeah, it gives him a speech about unite them under one banner or something like that. So she wants to head off to Middle Earth, and he's like, "Why? I want to set my own life up here." I don't think. Surely I wrote. No, I did write this down somewhere. Where did I write this? Because I remember writing this piece of dialogue down. Where did I write? I'm 100% sure I wrote this. So where is it? Yeah, because I'm not missing a page or anything like that. Where the fuck is that? Right. Yeah, I don't know why this ain't coming up yet. Where the fuck is this? Oh yeah. Right now I've found it. Oh, all my fucking notes are just fucked up. Yeah, it's it's another line we've heard in the trailer, where she says, "Ours was no chance meeting, not fate nor destiny." And all I've got to say to that again is, yeah, you met by contrivance. Again, that's just going to keep biting them in the arse because they've set it up that way. Yeah, so that's like most of that. Yeah, and it's like a speech about together we will redeem both our bloodlines. Yeah, then we get Muriel, and she says father. So I'm guessing this is the king that got dethroned or passed on to her. I'm not really sure on that. I suppose they'll drag that out for episode 4, I guess. So now we're back at the Harfoots. Fucking these episodes gone so long. They do drag out. Pretty much once we finish this episode, I'm just gonna fucking kill the stream. So she's struggling pulling her own cart because we found out in that her parents died, and I'm guessing her sisters or brother. So she's got her own cart, struggling to pull her own cart. No one's helping her. And then you've got, as you can see, this is Nori and her dad. Her dad's struggling because I'm guessing, sprained his ankle. Or, close to broken it anyway. But he's struggling to pull it. No one's looking back or helping him or anything like that. So, yeah, it makes it worse now that we're seeing this guy struggling. No one wants to help him. It's like they all know that he's fucked his foot. Well, I don't know why they wouldn't just put him on a cart. I don't really get it. And I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't do any favors for the Harfoots. Now I'm just quite happy to see someone come in and just boot him in the face. I'll leave Nori and her parents and that alone. I think it seems to just be the other Harfoots that are just arseholes. But it's like, yeah, what? Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any sort of, they're not a tight knit fucking sort of group or anything like that. It's just like, nah, if you can't keep up, you got a broken foot, fuck you, we'll leave you. So then the wizard starts following them, and yeah, they end up letting him come, and so he can pull the cart. Someone who fell out the sky was more willing to help a stranger than the other Harfoots were willing to help, people in their own community. Fucking hell. Yeah, are they trying to portray Harfoots like that on purpose? Do you think they even realise? Do you think they realise how they're actually portraying them or not? I don't think they know. I don't think they realise that the Harfoots they're not coming across likeable. So yeah, we get that shot. Then we're back to this, and yeah, they start breaking chains, kicking chains at other people at the orcs. And then, yeah, the orcs, then Arondir does that big jump and he pulls down the sheets. But unfortunately, they've now made it worse, as now we've got a warg. They let a warg loose. And I will bring this up because the CGI for this, fuck me, is absolutely atrocious. Yeah, I'll try and put a proper shot, but yeah, that doesn't look good, man. Don't get me wrong, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool, but the CGI's not that good for it. But yeah, it looks fucking goofy, doesn't it? Like, just with those eyes, you can see its whole eyeball. So yeah, it starts ripping out people's flesh and all that. I'm surprised they went that far, and I'm surprised they've shown us that. Then Arondir does that jump. So his like boss, I don't know what his leader, he makes up above, and then he gets arrows shot in him, dead, because there was orcs over there, and I'm just like, Arondir was up there earlier. Why did he not see any orcs? But that's another person dead. Then Arondir gets pulled back down. So Arondir is in the same place we started from. We started off from the start of the episode. And then, yeah, then we see this guy, and they start saying, what do they call him? They call him Adar. So there's, like, yeah, we do get a look at him. So it's an elf. It's like some elf that is obviously their leader. We don't get a good look at him. He's just kind of blurry. So yeah, you can. That's as about. But you can see, you know, he's got elf ears. But I imagine it's going to be another elf that doesn't feel like an elf. And we have finished in only an hour and 9 minutes. In only an hour and 9 minutes. So yeah, what have I got? You know, to finish up my little outro. You know, what have I got to say? Really, nothing. I'm just like, again, you haven't really done anything. It's now been 3 hours, and you just think about the amount of stuff that was achieved in 3 hours for the Fellowship of the Ring. The amount of stuff that they accomplished. They developed all their characters very, very well. We knew everything about the characters, you know, about an hour and a half, maybe around about an hour in. An hour into Fellowship, we learned all this. So yeah, it's just been, again, nothing happens. You know, I'm not really shocked. But I'm gonna finish off there anyway. And we're done with another episode. I may do this again for House of the Dragon. I'm gonna do it for Rings of Power next weekend. But other than that, I'll see you on the next one. It wasn't a very good episode. What can I tell you?